On the show this week, is this the best Mike Bennett we've ever seen? And can the championship experience of John Walters overcome the ever-changing, ever-evolving Tracy Williams? Let's find out. First up, let's take a look at Vincent versus a returning Mike Bennett.
Bennett charging in, collapsing Vincent. Off the ropes. Wow!
You can clearly see that Mike Bennett has made serious developments in the gym with powerlifting and dieting, and he's looking to hit that sweet spot with the most powerful, fast twitch muscles that you can get for those high impact match ending maneuvers, but he also wants enough gas in the tank to face someone like Vincent, and if he needs to go a long period of time, he knows he can do it.
As a wrestler, you get your eardrums popped so many times you're walking around with bells ringing all day long, Riccaboni.
But look at Bennett! My God! Bennett firing up! Super kick! Fireman's carry! Lands with a Spicoli driver!
And Vincent may be many things, but stupid is not one of them. He is a master psychological manipulator and tactician, and he knows that Mike Bennett is bringing this new power to the ring.
It's kind of what he said is a little bit true, man. Do you remember the Vincent?
Vincent has obviously been reading The Art of War, because if you've read that book, you'll know that it is essential to strike when your opponent least expects it and to control where and when the battle takes place.
Oh! On that same night, Vincent had a tryout match against Leo Rush. That's how long ago things were. And since then, Vincent has become multi-time six-man.
It's not long, however, before we see Mike Bennett use those physical skills to overcome the psychological warfare of Vincent. There's lots of forearms and elbows with vicious intent. There's chops, there's open hand slaps. He's throwing everything at Vincent right now. And I want to take you to one moment in the matchup where we see Mike Bennett's power on display.
Vincent sends Bennett into the corner. A Sam Hain block! Wow! Super kick! Sends him staggered. Bennett with a spear!
Now let's pause here. The technical term for what Vincent has locked in is called the guillotine choke. It's called the guillotine because it goes straight across the neck and effectively cuts off the circulation of your opponent. It is known as a blood choke.
Carries him down, but he caught him in a spear! But he caught him in a choke! What do you say, Mike?
Now what a blood choke does is it cuts off the circulation of the blood to the brain. So it's not about how tough you are or how much pain you can withstand. It's literally reducing the oxygen going to the brain, and the body knows to do only one thing, which is to shut down. It's an incredibly dangerous position to be in because it's nothing to do with strength when it comes to putting on that maneuver or escaping it. It's to do with technique and tactics.
And Bennett using those powerful legs to once again alleviate the pressure and the pain. Breaks out, breaks the grip. It's Bennett with a suplex.
Because he has a physical advantage in this matchup, he can use one burst of strength rather than fall backwards, which we see with the regular suplex. He instead kicks his legs forward and he goes to drive his own body down to the mat as quickly and sharply as possible. That means instead of Vincent landing flat on the mat, instead he is going to land with the upper part of his shoulders and the back of his head, which is why this particular suplex is nicknamed the Brain Buster, simply because it busts the brain.
Breaks out, breaks the grip. It's Bennett with a suplex, drives the head down into a brain buster.
But in the end, it's a classic case of losing the battle to win the war. Vincent goes beyond the 5 count in the corner, and the officials have no choice but to throw out the matchup.
You put your hands up, you're giving your opponent time to recover.
And Mandak, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Mandak in the ropes, Bennett trying to cover up. Vincent would not relent.
Yeah.
So Vincent doesn't get the win, but what he does get is that element of control, of inflicting damage upon the opponent. And that continues until Matt Taven shows up on the scene, and I think we can all be clear, this is nowhere near the end of this situation, and I'm looking forward to see what the repercussions are at Final Battle and beyond.
Taven coming to the rescue, just as Taven did for Bennett. This is the type of behavior the board of directors have said they will not tolerate.
Next up, let's take a look at a returning pure champion, John Walters versus the forever evolving Tracy Williams.
talked about Walters. This is his return after 14 years. While he was pure champion, he defeated Nigel McGuinness, Homicide, Jay Lethal. In the meantime, Flip, you mentioned he defeated Matt Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Psychosis.
That is amazing. I mean, I know Jon Walters' name very well coming up through the chaotic system in the New England Pro Wrestling Academy area. And so to actually be here and watch him live is phenomenal. And I hope I get to scrap it up with him eventually.
First thing I want to talk about is when Jon Walters chooses to isolate the knee of Tracy Williams. You know, we're used to seeing a chop block to the reverse of the opponent's knee, which causes them to buckle forward, weakening the knee so they can then be attacked to go for the finish. Jon Walters hits the ropes and then he comes back with every fiber of his being, driving his shoulder, speeding it through the knee joint of Tracy Williams. Not in the direction it's supposed to go, by the way. We're used to seeing the chop block can go into the back of the knee, and that's the way it's supposed to bend. So it does do damage, but your opponent isn't going to be injured. This, however, can take your opponent out forever. This can end their career.
Walters gets out of it, ducks the clothesline. Walters ducks the back fist, and Walters coming in hot and clips the knee.
Next thing I want to talk about is when Tracy Williams recovers from this. I want to talk about his suplex from when Jon Walters is in a seated position on the top rope.
And sends him down to the mat. Cover, 1, 2.
He grips the head with one arm and he hooks the underarm position with the other arm, drives him backwards. I see too many pins in professional wrestling where there's no intent to win, but Tracy Williams has got everything covered here. Walters does manage to get out of this hold and mount somewhat of a comeback, but the match ends with the brutal maneuver that we all know called the pile driver. Let's talk about it real quick.
I think Tracy's gonna try to take it home, Riccaboni. Could be closing time. That's it. William!
Oh.
The pile driver has been banned in professional wrestling in many organizations for many years for a reason. It's because it's incredibly dangerous to careers, but equally it's also effective, and under pure rules and regular rules, somehow it's a legal maneuver, and Tracy Williams is going to take full advantage of that.
Closing time. That's it. Williams!
Oh, I guarantee you that, Riccaboni.
Pile driver.
Yep.
3.
Wow.
It's been another phenomenal week on Ring of Honor television. Every day that goes by, I'm getting more excited for Final Battle. Let me know in the comments below, what matches are you excited to see? What matches do you want to see me break down? Because I'll tell you now, I'm excited for Final Battle, but I'm more excited for me to get back over to the United States and to get back in to these tag matches, these heavyweight matches, these pure rules matches. I'm ready to go, and I want to thank you for watching this. I want to thank Ring of Honor for giving me this platform. If you'd enjoyed it, give us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time on Technique Tuesdays.